Good morning, everyone, and welcome to our online children's time. As we begin every week, let's begin with prayer. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever and ever. Amen. So this week, we are approaching the end of this big, long season of Easter, where we've been celebrating and remembering that Jesus' resurrection, Jesus rising from the dead to new life. And so this past week, we marked 40 days after Easter, which is a very special day called the Feast of the Ascension. And ascension is just a word that means going up or rising up. And what we remember that day is that it's the time when Jesus leaves the disciples on earth, and he returns to be in heaven with God. And so they see him rise up, literally, and go up into heaven. And what that means for them is that, it's not as much about where Jesus goes, but about what it means for them. It means that Jesus is entrusting the disciples, and so is also entrusting us with a new level of responsibility. We're sort of left to be in charge of things, left to do Jesus' work on earth in a new way. It's something new has happened for us. Now, Webster, what are you doing?
Hi, Martin.
Huh? And Webster is here to demonstrate something about how that works. Webster, as you can see, he's on a bicycle.
Wait a minute, I can do it.
He can do it. Okay. Where's he
It's been
coming
a while. I can do it. I don't need training wheels.
from? And what Webster is reminding us is that what happens in the ascension, what happens when Jesus leaves us this new kind of responsibility, is a lot like when the training wheels come off your bike, if you've had that happen. It's a kind of letting go, and you are responsible, you don't have those wheels there to help you anymore, and you're responsible for keeping the bike going yourself.
That's right. It's like that moment when you may remember, or you will find this out if you ride a bike with training wheels. You take the training wheels off, and then one of your parents may let go of the seat, and you have to ride the bike by yourself. You have the ability, and they trust you to do it. So they let go of the bicycle, and you keep it going. Absolutely.
Yep. And that doesn't mean that God's not there for us or that God doesn't care about us. God is still watching us. God is still helping us. But it's it's a different sort of relationship after Jesus leaves the disciples. He's not right there with them that they can see and touch him the way they did before. And so they've got to figure out what they're doing and who they are.
And it's kind of like riding a bicycle now with your parents and not having to have them push you along or hold you up.
Mm-hmm.
In my family, we call it growing up.
Yep.
The ability that God trusts us to grow up.
And what that leads into for us is something very exciting that happens next week, when we'll see how it is that God continues to be with us and continued to be with those first disciples even after Jesus left them in the flesh. And that's a very special day called Pentecost. But we'll learn more about that next week and what that means and how God continues to be with us in a new way.
See you later, Martin. See you all later. Bye.
Bye, Webster. But for this week, what we can think about is what it means that God has been trusted us enough to let us have the training wheels come off, and how we can be responsible and learn to keep that bike upright, how we can follow, because Jesus has already given us a path to follow. He's on a bike way ahead of us, and it's our job to figure out how to follow. So until next week, when we hear more about the day of Pentecost, everyone have a good week and stay safe.